Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing Bleu de Chanel Parfum, not Eau de Parfum, Parfum. So this is the latest of the 3 releases. Let me first apologize saying I kind of let my beard and everything go on the weekends, so it's Sunday folks, bear with me. I did the video on the EP for my top 3 clubbing fragrance videos a long time ago, albeit, but I'll put it right there or whatever. If I had to pick out of the 3, this is what I would take. I don't think it's the most versatile though. I think the most versatile would be the EDP. So the one released before this is the strongest Parfum concentration. And it lasts the longest on my skin. What I've tried, I've worn this for a couple days. It lasts the longest, but it doesn't project as much. However, when it's close to you, it is the richest out of all of them. It has kind of the resins, the wood, and the zest rather than the light, airy kind of molecule ingredients like the grapefruit, the citrus, the incense, kind of fleeting notes. This has a lot of notes that really stick and hang on. Personally, I think it's the most beautiful composition out of all of them. It's what I would own. I'm not going to buy this. I'm not going to own this. I did actually own the EDP, but it was, I don't know, I was looking for something a little more shocking, and I kind of go a more niche route rather than, just mass-pleasing. Although I think it's great. I really like it. Getting into the notes, I'll go ahead and read them for you. You got my little tablet here. I'm not going to rely on it or anything, but just to give you an idea, I kind of forget sometimes. So it's got the lemon zest, the sandalwood, the cedar, it looks like lavender, amberwood, iso-e, bergamot, pineapple, mint, tonka, and artemisia. And I'm really good at reading the pictures on Fragrantica, and I know, like, I can look at the picture, I know, oh, that's that though. Anyways, it really is woody, and the zest isn't as airy like the other kind of grapefruit and citrus, which was more airy. It popped more, it shot off your skin. This is more the actual shavings. So if you've ever shaved like an orange, you get the zest if you're cooking before, that's what it is. So it's a heavier note, it's a heavier ingredient. The sandalwood, I get it, it's not a milky, creamy sandalwood. It's not the kind of sandalwood I like. It's a drier sandalwood. And maybe that could also be the cedar working with the sandalwood and kind of confusing my nose, kind of twisting where the sandalwood was going, because I get the cedar too. And the amberwood. I just recognized the note amberwood for the first time in my Baccarat Rouge 540 video the other day. So I kind of actually know what it smells like now. My nose is associated with what the ingredient is, because sometimes when you first read about an ingredient, you don't really know where it is because you don't know what it smells like. You can't pick it out in the composition. So now I kind of grab the amberwood and I kind of have an idea of what it smells like. It's kind of resiny. It's kind of sticky smelling, if that makes sense. So when I read amber, I was expecting amber, but it's not necessarily amber. It's amberwood, which is, to my nose, kind of resinous. It's got the iso-e, and I think iso-e is kind of a cheating ingredient. I definitely get it because I've got the raw iso-e that I spray on myself sometimes as a primer. I won't get into that in this video, but I know what it smells like, and it's definitely in this. And iso-e really helps things pop, and I mean, even with the iso-e, this doesn't really pop, it stays close, but I can't even imagine without the iso-e, this would probably just like be on your skin. It wouldn't even, iso-e is something that helps the fragrance move off your skin and the molecules and things dissolve and pop off. The citrus, of course, you've got the lime, you've got pineapple. I don't smell the pineapple. I mean, it maybe, but there's that tonka sweetness as well. There's other little sweet things that, when it's so far down, I mean, it's one of the least used ingredients, and when it's an ingredient that's not in a higher concentration, it's kind of harder to pick it up, and it can be confused with other ingredients. So there's some also sweetness, minty tonka, and maybe that can kind of trick my nose into thinking I'm picking it up, but it's not explicit. There's no explicit pineapple in here, so if all you Aventus lovers, don't freak out. But I think it's really good. It lasts a long time. I think it has a high compliment getting potential. But, disclaimer, no fragrances are really compliment getting. What I mean by that is it is mass pleasing. So for those of you looking for a most likely fragrance to get compliments, this would probably be in that ballpark because it's something citrusy. I think citrus, if I had to pick a group that was the most well-liked, mass-pleasing note group, it would be the citrus limey stuff. I guess it's just fresh to people. And I think someone who hasn't developed their nose in this hobby, they're more inclined to first recognize and appreciate the citrus notes, which are very approachable and easy and light and airy and fresh. So it's, you know, it's nothing super challenging. And this fragrance isn't challenging. Anybody could wear this. There's zero challenge potential to this. This is just a richer composition than the EDT and the EDP. The EDT, it was too screechy and loud, that grapefruit. It was just a citrus bomb. And if people are looking for that citrus bomb to shoot off and just be like, oh, I'm fruity, that, you know, that's what they're going for. The EDP, I thought, was a better composition. It lasted longer. I like the incense in it. I'm not really getting the incensiness to it, but, you know, there's other resins and things in here that can kind of mimic. It's similar. It's very similar. So there's other things that could kind of act as that incense kind of accord. So it's just, I guess what the Bleu de Chanel line can be summed up as is, do you want a brighter burning candle or do you want a longer burning candle? And the brightest burning candle is the EDT, and then this is the longest burning candle, which is the Parfum. It's what I would wear, because when I would wear something like this, it would be something very safe, like work, or, you know, going out with people I've never talked or met with before, or meeting a girlfriend's parents or something like that. And this is a meeting girlfriend's parents fragrance. It really is. Because it smells good, but it's nothing like, oh, you're one of those cologne guy weirdos, like me. So this is what I would wear for that kind of occasion. Something where you don't want to offend anyone, but you do want something that kind of stands out a little bit. Because this stands out among the freshy, citrusy stuff because there is more complexity to it. You know, it's drawing my nose. I'm not like just like, you know, it's kind of drawing me to it. I enjoy smelling it. I'm not forking out Chanel prices for it. I'm not forking out Parfum, Bleu de Chanel Parfum prices for it. So it'll probably remain in my decant. I might get a decant in the future. Something bigger than this guy. This guy's like a 2 milliliter, I think. You know, this is something I would get 10, 15 milliliters, maybe. And that would be fine. You know, I would only wear it for something where I don't want to offend anyone. And I usually don't feel the stigma of offending people because I like what I like. And it's about me, right? This interest, hobby is about you and what you like. That's the most important. So I like this, but everyone likes this. And I'm not being like a contrarian saying that. I'm not being like, well, I want something that nobody else likes. But it's not going to shock anyone. And sometimes, you know, if I want to spend over $100 on a perfume, I want something that is striking. Like, what is that? You know, that's the kind of reaction I like. I think that reaction is better than you smell nice. I think you know, what is that? That's really interesting. I've never smelled that before. I think I like receiving that a lot more. I think that's such a more fascinating comment to receive because then it opens up a conversation. Anyways, enough sidetracking. I like it. I would recommend it to any of you looking for if you could only have one fragrance, this is that kind of fragrance that if you could only have one because it fills so many roles. It could fill really any role. You could wear this out to the club. You really could. You could wear it out on a date, of course. So if you're just looking for one thing, the Bleu de Chanel line is really good for that. But I'm not looking for one thing. And what the niche it supports, you know, I'm not like desperate to find something to fill that gap. So, you know, this is something that I'll keep on the back burner and I'll eventually get around to. But like Noir de Noir is on my back burner and I'll eventually get around to it, but that could be years for all I know. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I like it. I will eventually want to get around to it, but too formal. And this is perhaps I'm not going to say too informal, but too inoffensive, if that sounds weird. That sounds weird. I want something to offend everyone. But it's like, I don't know. You get what I'm saying. Till next time, guys. Hope you had a good weekend.